What's new in Deer Valley? That's a question I get most times when I hop on the phone with somebody, especially if they're already looking in Deer Valley and Park City areas. And let me tell you, there's a lot new in Deer Valley. Now, I might not be great with technology, I might not be great with social media, but I am great at staying informed, and that's what this video is going to be all about for you today. So, I will be referring to my handy dandy cheat sheet here while I go through some of the different notes, and we're actually going to start with the newest, freshest piece of information, which involves these townhomes that are sitting up the hill behind me. I'm sitting over here over the Jordanelle gondola, existing Deer Valley terrain, long before Deer Valley East Village was announced. And they just talked about in the Park City news that we're going to have a Deer Crest Village that's coming to fruition now. As part of the MIDA project that's been alongside the entire Deer Valley East Village development, they obtained 22 acres and put that in with the development. It does run north of the Jordanelle gondola, and these 9 townhomes behind me are actually part of the overall plan. They have 205 approved units, so with 9 completed, that means they can make another 100, build 196. There will be a mix of commercial as well, and they're going to be a mix of townhomes, condos, and duplexes. So a good mix of, your more multifamily oriented, not single families over here. And I would show you, but the Jordanelle gondola is closed, so I couldn't get down to it to show you that space. Instead, we're just going to tell you all about it. So that's the newest, biggest development that's come to Deer Valley East Village in a little while. I'm going to recap some other things in case you're not aware and just kind of tell you what it's all about. So, Deer Valley East Village is part of the MIDA project, as I mentioned, which is the Military Installation Development Authority. They came in, they wanted to create this in conjunction with Extell. The overview is this. They're going to add 3,700 acres as well as 16 lifts. They started last year with 2 lifts. They added another 7 this summer, and they're going to have another 100 ski runs available as of this ski season. We do need a little bit of snow for that to happen, but it's on its way. I guarantee it. Extell, I mentioned them. They are a developer, a fantastic developer out of New York City. They actually are in control of all the commercial space, and they are developing the entirety of the Deer Valley East Village. Now, them being in control of the commercial space is very relevant because that means it's not going to be a piecemeal, what do you get type of situation. They're going to have a good market mix throughout the entire development of restaurants, of galleries, of ski shops, of course, adventures, all of that, and they're going to be able to control that to where it's most useful for you, the consumer. Now, next year they're projected to install the last few lifts on the South Peak. Everyone kind of worries about the terrain over here. Initially they worried. Now, if you got an opportunity to sample the terrain last year, you're not worried anymore. You've got 2 peaks over here that are as high as Bald Mountain. In fact, I think one of them is actually 10 feet higher. And so they're going to have great north-facing slopes, and you're going to have plenty of great snow and terrain over there. There's actually a lot of difficult terrain being added, as well as the longest run I want to say it was the longest run, definitely in Utah, but I think the lower 48 as well. Some developments that are happening in the East Village. We'll talk about the base first, and then we'll go out from there, closer to where I'm sitting right now in my car. So at the base in 2024, last winter, they completed the Grand Hyatt Deer Valley. Those are all sold out. Currently they are doing resales in the building. So I think there's 5 or 6 of those right now. And the 1-bedroom is right under $2 million. You've got a 2-bedroom for $3 million, and then they just keep going up from there. You do have a penthouse up there as well that's available. The Grand Hyatt is fully operational, and it's not ski in, ski out. It does have a shuttle that takes you right up to the operational lifts that were already installed, but it is right there. There's a shuttle that runs from the skier day parking, stops at the Grand Hyatt, and takes you the rest of the way up there. So it certainly still delivers on a very, very convenient ski vacation if you're over here. Now, this Deer Valley East Village, before I continue on, they really want this to be the gateway to Deer Valley, especially with this location. You can get here from the Salt Lake Airport and never hit a stoplight along the way. That's pretty impressive. But they also, we have Heber City funneling in people as well, and they're trying to relieve some of the infrastructure pressures that we have when you're going into lower Deer Valley and Snow Park, which we will touch on a little bit later as well. To continue talking about the different developments in Deer Valley East Village, you have the Four Seasons is underway being built. The Four Seasons has 2 towers. One's a residence tower, and the other one is, a hotel tower with residences, and the other one is a private residence tower. The private residence tower does have 90-day minimums on rentals, so that does actually afford you a much lower price point in conjunction with that, comparatively to the hotel residence side. The hotel residence side, of course, does allow for nightly rentals, so you can cash in with your nightly rentals being available when you're not using it yourself. The pricing on those, you've got 3 and 4 bedrooms in the hotel tower. They start as low as 5.86 million ranged for a 3-bedroom, and your 4 bedrooms are 12 million plus, and then you have the penthouse that was at $23.4 million on the hotel residence side. For the private residence tower, you actually have some 2-bedroom options over there as well, and so they're 3.25 million and up, and then you have 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, and the penthouse over there was 20.5 million. The Four Seasons is the premier option right now, and so they have pricing in upwards of 4,500 a square foot for some of those top tier penthouse style units, for example. Beyond that, we also have Cormont, which is underway as well. Currently, they're selling the first 2 buildings, which were 1 and 5. There's 24 of those remaining. They're all 3 bedrooms right now. The lowest one is just under 6 million and around 2,400 square feet. And your most expensive is 7.2 and closer to 2,600 square feet. So those are still being built right now. They sold a lot of those initially, and they are actually about to release another building, I'm told, in December, hopefully December. If not, then I'll keep you up to date on when that happens. And those ones should have some smaller products, including some 2 bedrooms. The last quote I got on that involved a 2-bedroom, fully furnished for 2.6 million. So a far cry different than what we were just talking about with the 3 bedrooms for those 2,400 square feet. Let's see what else. So that's Cormont. That has, by the way, that is a boutique hotel. It's not going to have a name brand on it, like Four Seasons. Additional possible hotels, there's 2 unnamed hotels. We don't know what they're officially going to be, but they have possibly a Ritz-Carlton makes a lot of sense for this area, though they do have the St. Regis of the Hill, which is the same owner, so we'll see, or an Auberge, which we have a couple of Auberge style properties in the area, but that doesn't mean we can't add another one. While we're talking about the East Village, so that's what we know about what's going on right now. There is also Marcella. So Marcella is an exclusive mountainside ski and ski out community here on the Deer Valley East Village. The lots are completely sold out. There's homes being built in Marcella now. The first one was listed at 21 million and sold, might have been 21.5 million. It was a beautiful home, just absolutely stunning, tons of patio space, looking right out over the Jordanelle. Happy to send you that link if you're interested in seeing that one. But it's not just a ski and ski out community either. They are going to have a golf course community that's still part of Marcella. It's Marcella at Jordanelle Ridge, down on the southern tip of the Jordanelle. That is a Tiger Woods, they have 2 courses actually upcoming. They have a Tiger Woods designed Skyline 18-hole course, as well as an Ambush designed by King Collins Dormer, and that's an 18-hole golf course as well. That is still underway. They have 350 memberships designated for the Jordanelle Ridge, Marcella at Jordanelle Ridge community. Now, they're going to have a private on-mountain ski club, as well as, of course, having a golf club down at the golf course areas. They're going to have a huge 65-acre central park that involves the golf courses, as well as the clubhouse, activity center, a racket club, tranquility pond, all sorts of things going on with Marcella. They also have Marcella Landing townhomes. Now, that's completely different than everything I've talked about with Marcella so far. They do not have a membership. They have a social membership aspect, if you will, where they'll have their own, they'll have a ski shuttle that takes them to their own amenity building. And, it's 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, and approximately 5,000 square feet. And they do allow for nightly rentals at the Marcella Landing townhomes. The Marcella homes have a 30-day restriction for rentals, so a 30-day minimum on that. There's currently one Marcella Landing townhome still available. It is $9.3 million. And for the Marcella Mountainside Ski and Ski Out lots, there is one resale lot available right now, and that is for $5.5 million as well. Now moving a little bit away and more towards where I'm sitting, there is another ski and ski out community called Velver. It is a wellness-centric community being built by Maggleby Builders. Maggleby is well respected in this area. They do a fantastic job. These homes, you have 3 property types. You've got 12 cabins, you've got 68 paired or twin homes, and then you have 35 estates. The estates, you buy the lots and then you have to build within 3 years. So the paired homes and the cabins are being built by Maggleby for you. And you just buy those as you like. So your price range on those, your cabins are 3.8-ish, for 3 bedrooms, about 2,300 square feet. They're not technically ski in, ski out, but they are walkable to the ski access. Your paired homes are bigger. You've got $5 million to $9 million for the price range, with 3 to 5 beds and a sanctuary, a wellness sanctuary on the top, and they're 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. And then of course your estates, they're going to range based on some of your specifications there, but you've got $5 million to $9 million on those, with 5+ beds and the sanctuary as well. And those lot sizes range heavily. You've got 0.3 acres all the way up to 3.3 acres. And they're going to be larger homes as well, with 6,000 to 9,000 square feet. After that, as you get towards where I'm sitting here, directly in front of me is the Canopy Hotel. That is a hotel. They are not selling residences, at least not that they're announcing to anyone outside, but that'll be managed by the Hilton. It is directly south of the Jordanelle gondola, just to give you an idea of location. And then you also have, it's still being completed, but it looks like it could be complete, honestly, any day now. Then you also, directly across the street from that, have the Pioche Village. Pioche Village are mostly studios and 1-bedroom condos. Great amenities over there. You've got gym, storage. You can get a deeded parking space if you pay extra for that. What else? You can ski into the Pioche Village development. You can't ski out. You just got to walk over to the Jordanelle gondola, but you can ski into the project. And there are a handful of 2 bedrooms, but they're pretty rare. So really it's a studio and 1-bedroom type development. Now, I already mentioned that I'm sitting here close to the Deer Crest Village, once again referring to these townhomes behind me. And so I'm looking at a Deer Crest sign. Deer Crest is not part of the East Village itself, but the Deer Crest Village, as I mentioned, has become a part of that. If you go further away from here, basically we're going to you can go across to the Jordanelle and you get some additional options there. But we're going to touch on those in a different video. We're going to stay focused on the East Village, and we're going to talk a little bit about what all of this means. So, first off, let me circle back. I mentioned Snow Park earlier. The Snow Park project is the Lower Deer Valley project over at the existing Snow Park base, very close to Park City Main Street. That project has been approved. They're going to pool the ski beach down and add, of course, more commercial, more hotels, and underground parking over there as well. And that has been approved by the Park City Council now. And so that's probably something we'll see, and they'll likely begin tearing those parking lots and getting that started this coming summer. Kind of still talking about the Deer Valley East Village. What does that mean for us, the consumers and the locals and all of that? Well, that means you have access to a whole slew of new premium Deer Valley amenities. Deer Valley is consistently, one of the top, if not the top resort in the country. So they're really setting a new standard while they build this new resort area here. I already mentioned that all the commercial is going to be owned by Extell, which means they'll have a nice market mix on that. You're also going to have a fantastic residential mix, because you have some homes that are not able to be rented short-term, nightly rentals, and an abundance that do have nightly rentals. And yet we still probably don't have enough for as many people, for all the people that want to buy in the Deer Valley East Village area. What's the impact on Park City and Deer Valley real estate from Deer Valley East Village? You're probably wondering, right? Well, at the end of the day, it will continue to have upward price pressure because of the new construction costs. And if you're selling existing Deer Valley properties, your best comparables are still the Deer Valley East Village. And so those prices are being pushed upwards, not to mention just high demand in general. And a lot of people, if they can't get into the new construction, they still want to get their foot into Deer Valley. So they're looking at that existing Deer Valley real estate in order to get a foothold here and at least have something here in Deer Valley before it turns into what it, the absolutely gorgeous resort that it's about to turn into. What else? So challenges and opportunities that the Deer Valley East Village is presenting to us right now and for the future. Logistics obviously always comes to mind. The first part of logistics is always traffic. How's that going to impact our traffic? Now, the real goal of a place like the East Village is to hopefully alleviate some of the Park City infrastructure traffic. If you've skied here in Park City in the winter, you know what I'm talking about already. But they're trying to alleviate that, but that means you're putting more pressure on US 40 that goes down to Heber. So that turns into a different animal, and we will see widening of these highways in time, which will create its own kind of headaches along the way, but it's a necessary thing to continue to see the growth that Deer Valley is providing for the area. It is projected to have cranes in the sky here in Deer Valley East Village all the way to 2031. I think that's a little ambitious, but I'd give it another year. 2032 is pretty likely, especially with the Olympics coming in 2034. You do at least have a year or two leeway there to really get everything dialed in before the Olympics come back to Utah, Salt Lake, and Park City. What else do I have to talk about really quickly? So what's the upside here? Well, the upside is we have a phenomenal resort here. We already had one of the largest resorts in the lower 48 with the Canyons and Park City Mountain combination, about 8,000, almost 8,000 skiable acres over there. Well, this is going to be, very close to that as far as just grandiose size. They're adding 3,700 skiable acres to their already existing 2,100 skiable acres. So they're closing in on 6,000, and it's all ski only. I'm not even a skier. I snowboard. And I'm going to learn to ski because I'm going to have at my fingertips one of the best ski resorts in the country, if not the world, to come and play at. That's about everything that I have to talk about directly related to Deer Valley, what's new at Deer Valley and the East Village. I am going to do another video that talks all about the Jordanelle right across the way here and everything that's going on over there. A little bit more value options across the way, but still great proximity to this fantastic new ski resort. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me or anyone here at the Hyatt team. Have yourself a great day.